why do you have to abide by certain rules? Now, there are certain social norms and kind of cultural rules that are, for everyone's benefit. For example, like it's the norm that you wash your hands after using the restroom, especially if you're like at a restaurant or something. It's not a gender-based rule, right? But that's helpful to everybody because it prevents the spread of germs and things like that. But there are some social rules, let's call them, or norms that are really, really arbitrary. And so I don't think it's necessarily going to benefit you to follow all those rules. So all this to say, there are certain kind of black and white things that are just fundamentally true, right? And this is why I just am really straightforward about it. On my channel, I believe that biological reality is important. So if you are going to be a rule-based thinker, you might say, okay, my biological reality says that, for example, it's really helpful to get 7 hours of sleep a night. Now, we could think about philosophically, why does that not matter? Because some animals only sleep 3 hours a night and sleep in these weird 2-hour cycles or whatever. But I'm like, okay, we're mammals. What are some of the biological based rules that help us to thrive? And biological sex is another one. Now, it doesn't mean that there's any particular social norms that you have to follow. It doesn't mean there's any particular behavior or preferences you have to have. But I think it's really great starting point to say, here are some of the black and white biological basics: sleep, food, biological sex, and then go from there and see what things you want to play with or experiment with.